Hi there runners, thanks for tuning in for another video. Today we're going to take a look at my journey as an ultra runner, dealing with injuries, my favourite races and my support crew. And hopefully there'll be some valuable content for you. Don't forget to ring that bell and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you watch till the end to find out some valuable information about your support crew for ultra running. Feel free to share this content with friends, other runners and endurance enthusiasts, and their support and views will mean a lot to me. Now, I'm a keen runner, I love my running, so let's dive in and take a look at my ultra running journey. Well, I got into ultra running at what I thought was a really weird time for myself. I just got married, my son had just been born, and I was thinking that maybe this is the time that I'd be winding down. No more marathons, maybe a few 10Ks and park runs. But the day after my son was born, I went for a 12-mile run while my wife was still in the hospital. I wasn't allowed to visit because of COVID. And then within a few weeks, the lack of sleep got to me. It was August time, so it was UTMB. And I remember just being awake one night, not able to sleep, being kept awake for the feeds, etc. And put YouTube on and watched a bit of UTMB live. And that's when I learnt about Courtney Dauwalter. And I remembered about Dean Karnazes, found out about Rich Roll. And I thought, if these people can run through the night, maybe I can do it when I'm awake at these times. So I started getting up early, running early in the morning, being back before my son woke up. And before I knew it, I was running 100 miles a week, entered my first ultra, and I've not looked back since. Well, there are three main challenges that I found in transitioning from a regular runner to an ultra runner. The first one is keeping the miles up. Now, luckily, I work for a good employer. I have a supportive family around me who lets me fit the miles in, so I can work earlier, finish earlier, which means I can run to and from work, and that means I can be at about 80 miles by Friday afternoon. And my wife and son put up with me getting up early to get the miles in, and my wife does a great job of looking after our son so that I can run early mornings on the weekends. But I always make sure that I'm back by 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, no matter how far I run, to make sure that we can spend the weekend together. So that means that I get my 100 miles a week in by Saturday morning, and then I've got 48 hours rest from running and a weekend to spend as a family. The second is that the pain at times can be unreal, and I'm talking about pain in your feet. When you've been pounding your feet against the concrete or the rocky trails for 4 or 5 hours, the pain becomes something else. I remember my first 50-mile ultra, about 40 miles in, we're headed back onto tarmac, and it was a world of pain. But then when I did my first 100-mile race, I found that pain doesn't get any worse, so you learn to deal with it. It's there from the same point, but you just learn to deal with it, get through the run, and it makes you stronger. And the third is mastering eating while you're running. If you're going to be running for 40, 50, 60, 100 miles, even 24 hours, you need to take some fuel in. Now, this is something that I never really used to enjoy, running marathons, taking in gels and drinks, but it's something I've had to learn how to do for running ultra marathons. I'm still learning and I'm still getting better at it, but it's different. You've got to learn how to keep it down. You've got to have a support crew around you to hand you those things at checkpoints after each lap on certain races. But it's all good fun and I enjoy it. But in all, I've really loved stepping up to ultras. It gives me a chance to test my endurance, push myself and see what I'm capable of. My ultra running training stems from a need to maintain balance. And by that I mean balance in life. I'm always trying to get the best balance out of my life, my running, my work and my family. And I think I found a formula that works. Run commuting plays a big part in helping me achieve that, and that helps me to keep the miles high. I always make sure that I get the marathon day in on a Tuesday, so I'll do a half marathon to work and a half marathon back home again. But run commuting just gives me 5 days where I really get the mileage high. And then on a Saturday morning, I'll do a specific session for whatever races I've got coming up. So if I've got a trail race, I'll hit the trails, the hills if I need to include hills. If I've got 100k or a 50k, 40 miler coming up, I'll focus on faster work in my carbon shoes on the flat concrete. It didn't take me long to find that balance. Run commuting really helped. I think it's made me a better runner as well. So why not give it a try? Well, the mindset that you need for ultra running is completely different to regular running. Just imagine you're stood on the start line, knowing that in 23 and a half hours, you're still going to be running. Well, that's 24-hour running for you. Yeah, ultra running's hard, but you've just got to accept that it's painful and shift your mindset. I focus on the fact that every step is making me a better runner, and it's making me different to a lot of people. And I've developed a voice inside me that helps me get through those tough moments, whether it's a training session or a race. It just tells me that you're doing something that a lot of people can't do, aren't able to do. You're lucky, enjoy it, and maximize your potential. Another strategy that I use is to count my steps. It sounds a bit insane, but something I've always done. I know that about 600 or 700 steps is a mile, so if I've got a mile left to run or a mile to a checkpoint, I'll just concentrate on counting to 600 or 700. Ultra running has definitely made me stronger mentally and physically, and it's a step up that I really enjoy.
My favourite ultras, wow, that's a good question. I think this is probably going to give a bit of a hint as to what type of ultra runner I am. But my favourite race, ultra, the Barry 40. Really loved running fast on the track for 161 laps. Great experience, really enjoyed it. I especially liked the last lap, the last mile. There was a bit of tension whether I was going to drop under 4 hours. So really enjoyed that push towards the finish and the support from everyone in the around the track and in the stands. Another relatively fast ultra was the Anglo-Celtic Plate over in Northern Ireland, 100k. Again, running fast on the roads in carbon shoes, just seeing what your body's got and what you can maintain for a long distance. Really enjoyed it. Really made me a stronger runner. I need to include a trail race, the Dragon 100, Dragon Coast 100 from Rossilly in Gower, Swansea to Cardiff Bay. Great race. My first 100 miler. There's parts of it where you don't see people for an hour or 3 or 4 hours. You're running through the night, through the woods. Really great experience if you're looking to do a 100 miler. And of course, I'm looking forward to running Lakes in a Day, which is a 50 miler up in the Lake District. Lots of elevation, 4,000 meters. I think that'll be good. Looking forward to it, and hopefully that'll make my top 3, but we'll see. But all of these races have shaped me into the ultra runner that I am. Let me know what your favorite races are. Let me know if you've done those races that I've liked, if you enjoyed them, and let's keep the conversation going.
I have had my fair share of injuries, but most of them came before I started ultra running. I've had 3 pretty bad stress fractures, keeping me off running for between 3 and 12 months. There was one in my left knee. The other one was in one of my ankles. I can't remember which one, but the worst one was my right tibia, my right shin. Actually turned into a complete fracture, gone right the way through the bone. And I'd been running on that for about 3 or 4 months. So I ended up non-weight bearing for about 3 months in a cast. Didn't walk for 6 months. Didn't run for 12 months. I had to dig deep into my mental resilience, my mental strength, find other ways to keep fit. One-legged cycling, swimming, battle ropes, boxing pads. Definitely made me mentally stronger, and I think physically stronger as well. But to avoid injuries now, I just listen to my body. If things are getting tight or sore, I'll slow the pace down a little bit, but I'll always try and keep moving. The thing that you need to be able to ultra run is a good support network around you, and I've got a great family around me that help me do that. First of all, my wife and son are a big support. They're always there at races. My wife looks after my son so I can race for 24 hours or so, and they're both there to help out with crewing whenever they can. And then there's my mum, dad and brother, who are my crew on a lot of my ultras. They've done my last couple now. I'm really grateful for them being there, giving up their time to help me and help me run well and do good things. I've heard people say don't let your family be your crew, but it's the opposite for me. I love it, it's great, and it works. So find a crew that works for you, whether that's family, friends, or whoever. Thanks so much for watching and being part of my ultra running journey. Remember to ring that bell and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave your comments or your suggestions or requests for future videos. Make sure you're following me across all the social media sites for some daily running insights and tips and motivation. Let's support each other to be better at running. Feel free to share this video on social media with any friends, runners, or endurance enthusiasts who might find it useful and interesting. Stay tuned for more of the same. And remember, if it's not hard, it's not worth doing. Train hard, run far, and do hard things. Thanks for watching.